Hey everybody, this is Miss Analytical back with another video, and I just gotta say a couple of words. Raven Symone is fucking up on these streets again. Homegirl don't know how to just see a photo, read the captions, and just move along. Instead, she has to put her 2 cents in, whether it's make another comment or type in a couple of emojis or just type in 2 thumbs up. The girl don't know and don't understand that the black community don't really fuck with you anymore. So the best thing for you to do is if you see something that's about the black community, especially if they're criticizing us, you need to walk away. No, she gonna comment knowing that they gonna come for her, and she gonna still comment. Let me tell you what happened. Miss Symone going to see a photo of all the black rappers who are prominent in the music industry. P.Diddy, your T.I.s, your Jay-Z's. So the caption in the photo, because I do my homework. I don't play, I do my homework. The caption pretty much had to do with a person complaining about it. And the person pretty much wrote an original image stating a group of so-called successful black men minus DJ Khaled, because, he's Arabic, who became rich and famous from perpetuating the worst black stereotypes to the ears and eyes of the whole planet, like drug dealing, pimping, murdering other black men, and disrespecting black women. I know making observations is being a hater. Cheers. Okay, so this was somebody who posted this. All right. So Raven sees it, and instead of just looking at it and just like, oh, okay, she types in a set of emojis and she agreed with the sentiment. So, it didn't go well. Raven just sparked up a whole bunch of controversy in just doing that. And people came for her. People just went for her. And people were saying, Raven Symone told the world that she wasn't African American, that she was an American. This chick even went as far as to say she wasn't black, that she was dark white. She even then, when she got on The View, was making fun of people's names, saying that they had the right to be discriminated against, because if your name is weird and it can't be pronounced, why should I hire you? That's what she did. She did that. Now, Raven did delete the post, and she said that she deleted it because it was something that she didn't want her underage followers looking at. But she says that she didn't delete it because she didn't believe in what she said. So I'm going to take this time and I'm going to really put in my response about this girl. Raven Symone was around from the time she was 3 years old. And she came up through the Cosby Show, which is a black show. It was black people from all types of backgrounds, particularly poor backgrounds. Some of the worst that supported you. And that's how you got to the Disney Channel, because of black people. If it wasn't for black people watching the Cosby Show, or I'll even go further and say, if it wasn't for black people watching with hanging with Mr. Cooper, because that wasn't a really big rating show. It really wasn't. But it was something that was a hit, and the advertisers got their money from it because people watched it on a Friday night. But compared to the Cosby Show, that was sort of a step down. But that was a black show. You made it from Black America, Raven. And even though you didn't write any comments, you just typed in emojis, what you still did is you still co-signed it. You said you're not black. So when you say you're not black, you don't have the right to agree with somebody who I'm sure that person who wrote that caption actually aligns himself with the black community. They can say those things because they align themselves with us. They align themselves with me. They identify with black politics. You don't. You sat on Oprah's chair and said, "Oh, I'm not an African American. I'm an American. I don't view myself with colors. I live in a colorless world." But your ass had multicolored hair when you said that. And that's my thing with you. I believe you're the type of person, Raven, is that you got all the money in the world. They say that Ebony 11 years ago claimed that you was the $400 million woman. When it comes to find out, you was worth 45. It was just that the show was worth a lot of money, plus your assets and cash. And all total, it came up to 400 million. But they said you're really worth 45 million, which is still a lot. But what I believe in my heart of hearts, Raven Symone, is that you failed as a black woman. You didn't do well being black. Something happened from the time That's So Raven ended to the time when you came out the closet in 2013. Those 6 years, it's like something happened. I think it really started when you made that road trip movie with Martin Lawrence. It was sort of like the movie didn't do that good. Where do I now go? My music career has never really popped off. I'm not a cute kid anymore. I'm 22 years old. Where do I go? And then you had another show on ABC Family, and that didn't last long. So I feel as though something in your brand didn't really work out. Plus you was like dealing with being a lesbian, trying to come out the closet. You didn't think nobody would accept you, but people were learning to accept you for that. But I do believe that a lot of black people were disappointed because it was like, wow, you were our sweetheart, and people were praising you. A lot of people who were older really had your back. It was like you were a role model. You were somebody that people suggested young girls should look up to. And for you to turn around and become this and to sprout ignorance, because you sprout plain old ignorance, saying things like, I'm dark white, I'm not black. My favorite of all time would be, I'm from every continent in Africa except for one. But there's only one continent. Africa is a continent. It's not a country. I'm from every continent in Africa except for one. And it's like, this is who we built up, and this is who we gave our money to for merchandise. This is who we had our children to sit in front of the television and watch weekly, sometimes daily. And this is who you became. And you're a disappointment to a lot of people, especially in the black community, Raven. And there's nothing we can do about it because you got your money, you got your bills, because you don't have coins. You have C notes. You got money. You got investments. You were smart. Whoever looked out for you, they did a good job in terms of your finances. But I believe your mental stability and your way of thinking is really jacked up. And you failed. That part failed you. And being a lesbian, I'm going to be the person to say, I'm not going to believe that you are like this because you're lesbian. Because I know quite a few lesbians. I work with lesbians on my job. I'm going to school with lesbians. And they understand what's going on. And I'm talking about the black ones. I'm not talking about the white ones or the Latinos. I'm talking about the black lesbians. They know what's up, okay? They know and see racism similar to how we as straight people see racism, okay? And a lot of them, they demonstrate too along with us. But you have issues with yourself. And I believe you have issues with yourself being black. I do. I believe that if you had the opportunity, Raven Symone, to be white for just even a week, you would do that. You would be white. And I'm not talking about as in dark white. I'm talking about as in white. You would be white. You would be white. Because I don't think you could cut it as a black woman. I think that you're doing this as a form of escapism. And We've never seen you with a man, so I do believe you're a lesbian. I learned about you being a lesbian in 2008 from Media Takeout when they was talking about your relationship with Jennifer Freeman. Okay? And I was shocked. I was really shocked because I'm like, I didn't see that from her, but I feel as though you went from being a lipstick lesbian to being, like a lesbian that was edgy to now you just let yourself go. And the irony of the whole thing, I have to say, you said all these dumb comments. You went from having your own show on Disney. In your prime, you made millions. To being in Sister Act, to doing other projects in between, to being in Sister Act, to getting on The View. You were on The View for about, you could say 2 years, so to speak, but really as the main co-host, a year and a half. You guest hosted for half a year though. But then you left that to go back to Disney. And it's not like you left to build your own empire, to create your own channel. You went back and you're not even really a star of the show. It's about 3 other children. So you got played. You did all of that stupid stuff for nothing. And in the end, you ruined your own self because people will never look at you the same. They will always think that you were the girl who people thought was such a bright young woman, a beautiful little child who grew up to be a very, very positive teen to being a dumb ass woman. That's what your legacy is going to be. And that's sad. But you did it on your own. And the sad thing about it is you got really nothing out of it because you had a lot. So you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to be dumb. You didn't act dumb before. So why do it when you get older? But anyway, that's on you. That's your legacy. You got to live with that. You got to look in the mirror and that. Like the black community has said online, you will never be invited to the cookout. I'll take it further. You ain't going to be able to walk through the major cities in the black community. Seriously. F the cookout. You're done. You will never be mentioned unless you do some fucked up shit to the black community. Now I mean the curse. On this one, I mean the curse. And on that note, I'm signing off. I was done with Raven a long time ago. And to all the people in the black community, if you haven't, I think that you need to check yourself too. I appreciate y'all listening. Take care and have a wonderful day.